Hello everybody, myself Govind Kumar Rahul and I am here for discussion of discrete mathematics. Guys, earlier in previous lectures we discussed what is discrete mathematics and what is the significance of discrete objects and how it is different from regular mathematics or continuous mathematics. What are the key features of discrete mathematics and where discrete mathematics can be applied and which kind of problems can be solved in discrete mathematics. So now we are defining some basic application of discrete mathematics and some furthermore chapters like number system in today's lecture. Outcome of these lectures can be discussed as a student will be able to understand the number system. Understand the number system. Okay. If we talk about the application of discrete mathematics, then these are the applications of discrete mathematics. First is CPU task scheduling. We will discuss it in detail. So first of all, let's list down the application. CPU task scheduling. Process scheduling. Process scheduling. Third may be designing of algorithms. Application in programming. And in cryptography. Okay, guys, as we discussed earlier, discrete mathematics has various applications in modern computer science and it has a big wide area in research field of computer science. That is, in this context, we can discuss this point that CPU task scheduling. If we designing a multitasking processors or multi-programming mode or parallel mode of computation or even distributed mode of computation, so there may be a bulk of process at a time and which task may be or which task should be executed first, then these problem can be deal with discrete mathematics as each and every process can be taken as a discrete object. Process is a discrete object. As each process have at least process ID that is unique and different from other processes, so it can be dealt as a discrete object. And now the principal theory of discrete mathematics can be applied in these processes to sort out the CPU task scheduling. Process scheduling, guys, process scheduling is what if a company and organization is functioning and there a lot of processes are there, lot of operations are there. So each processes and operations can be taken as a discrete object and their sequencing of processes or operations can be dealt with the help of discrete mathematics. Algorithm design. In algorithm design, each statement or each instructions of the algorithm can be dealt as a discrete object, and about these we can plot the discrete mathematics principles. Application in programming in same way, instructions are identical and these can be discrete objects. In cryptography, each communication can be discussed as a discrete object and the principle of discrete mathematics can be applied on this. So guys, in this way we see discrete mathematics have a wide area of applications where discrete mathematics can be applied. Numbers. Guys, number system is not so new to every one of us because already we have gone through of number systems. So let's have a brief discussion because number system is so important in discrete mathematics where identification and recognition of real numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational number or complex numbers are so important because things are either continuous or discrete, or if it is discrete then discrete mathematics principle can be applied, or if it is continuous then the continuous mathematics principle can be applied. So the numbers are basically real numbers. Real numbers denoted by R, and the second is natural number, denoted by N. Third is whole number, denoted by W. Third is integer, integers number denoted by I or somewhere Z. Both representations are available. Third is rational number, rational numbers denoted by Q, and last is the complex number. Denoted by C. So let's have the brief discussion of these numbers. Natural numbers are what? Real numbers are what? Basically these numbers are numbers that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. It involves all the numbers, whether it is natural number, whole number, integer number, rational number, complex number, whether it is fractional, whether it is decimal, floating, every number. It is a superset of all numbers. That is, we can say super set of all numbers. Natural numbers are what? Natural numbers are the numbers that are first of all positive, and it starts from the 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till positive infinity. So basically it is a positive integer number. It is a positive number. Whole numbers are what? Whole numbers are natural number along with the 0. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on plus infinity. So this is the whole number. If we talk about integers, then integers are basically minus infinity to plus infinity. Those are the multiplicative of some unit numbers. That is those numbers that are multiplicative of unit number.
That is 1, 2, 3, or say minus 1, 2, 3, or say 1, 2, 3, and 4. This can be also categorized into two parts. That is positive integers or negative integers. We can say the positive integers are 1, 2, 3, and so on, and negative integers are minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. These are the integers numbers. Rational numbers are those numbers that are in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equals to 0. These are the rational numbers. And complex numbers are what? These the complex numbers are the all in the state of all numbers that are in the form of A plus BI. These are the complex numbers. So if we talk about the state of these numbers, so we can categorize these things as a natural number, then after the number is whole number, then after the number is integer number, integer, and at last it is real number. So guys, that's all for today, and we will discuss the set theory in next lecture. Thank you.